Greetings and welcome to the channel. Today we are in a place called Trull, which is just outside Taunton in Somerset, to visit All Saints Church. Now the reason I'm here today is because I saw some beautiful carvings on Instagram. I thought I'd venture inside and see them for myself. I understand the tower is dating from the 13th century and the rest is largely 15th century. As you can see, this is largely a perpendicular church. The exterior is quite plain. It's inside where the jewels lie. I actually visited here in February 2024. And although the light is quite good from certain aspects, from others it's quite poor. It was also quite early on in my filming days, and therefore I didn't really have a clue what I was trying to film. So I think the best thing is really for me to give you a slideshow of most of it, and you'll get to see more detail, I think. To the left there are some helpful booklets on what to look for inside the church. Because I was passing this way with family, I wasn't able to scrutinise it and give it the time it deserved. On the panelling here you will see that the maker of this work has carved his name, Simon Warman, and the date 1560. He was responsible for many of our bench ends, identified by his characteristic carving. There's also a complete pre-Reformation procession, now unfortunately scattered. The only known example, see our leaflet, People of the Bench Ends. We also have a seating plan of 1569, which is believed to be the oldest in existence anywhere in the country. This pulpit is believed to be from around 1500. The carvings on it seem very fresh, as though they were almost carved by the Victorians. Apparently the fan in here is also from the 1500s. Whilst I was here, I met a chap who told me to go to nearby Broomfield, about 14 minutes from here in good traffic. He told me that the same carver that did this church and many others in Somerset did the carvings at Broomfield, and that is where I'm off to next. I'm not quite sure in editing whether it'll be the next video or not. I'll have to see how things go. Thanks again for joining me on this journey, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.